Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and peace be with you, brothers and sisters of humanity. Welcome to another video. This video talks about Jennifer Lopez changing her legal name to Affleck, Jennifer Affleck. I mean, I am very, very happy, very delighted for them. I'm glad that it worked out for them. How beautiful is it after 20 years to be able to come together again, find each other, and this time go all the way. Good for them. I love, and it's beautiful. Definitely more power to them. May it last a lifetime. Having said that, I was surprised. I was driving and I was listening to Walsh, and I like listening to YouTube videos while I'm driving. I don't watch, I listen. Anyway, and the title was, I have something in common with Jennifer Lopez. Something. I may be paraphrasing it, but something along the lines of that. And he talks about this, I don't even remember the name, but some reporter or columnist from New York Times wrote an article about the fact, calling Jennifer Lopez sort of like, not weak, but along the lines of why now? Why, women are under attack everywhere in the world. Did you have to do that right now? Changing your name as a woman who's as powerful as you shouldn't do that. And she went as far as saying maybe he should have changed his name to Lopez, since you're actually richer and more powerful than he is. I'm just adding this, but I think that's what she meant. Of course, Walsh, who really has nothing in common with anyone except unless you 100%, 1,000 times actually, unless you agree with him. He refuses to give an inch to anyone. For him to be able to agree with Jennifer Lopez in this case, it's because, a woman, a powerful woman, gives up her name and joins her husband. Because Matt is trying to tell us, for a wife to take her husband's last name symbolizes the union. Well, here it is.
Now, you could say that a last name is just a last name. What does it matter? But a name is a symbol, and symbols are deeply important and meaningful to human beings. The choice to share a name is symbolic, as discussed, but it symbolizes unity and fidelity. The choice to not share a name is also symbolic then. And what does that symbolize? Well, the opposite of unity and fidelity.
It symbolizes the union, fidelity, etc., as Matt said. What does one has to do with the other? I mean, this is a grown woman. She joins this man in a union. It's a union. Why does she have to give up her last name? He's not her father. As backwards as you think we are, we Muslims don't do that. It's actually haram. It's forbidden for a Muslim woman to take her husband's last name. Why? Because we don't belong to him. We belong with him, but we don't belong to him. Shocking, huh? I don't think a lot of people actually know. After all these years, and I have many friends from this part of the world, I don't even think we've ever really had this conversation. I don't think a lot of people know this. Yeah, we Muslims don't take our husband's last name. And I think it's kind of degrading that a living, breathing human being who just met you recently shares a last name with her children. That's kind of very egotistic, if you ask me. What is it, a proof of ownership? And Mr. Walsh, I know you're big when it comes to traditions, but some traditions need to die. because your wife does not belong to you. This shouldn't be a hard one to abandon, because, I mean, for God's sake, Jennifer Lopez, I think this is her 4th marriage. Imagine if she had to take each husband's last name. How many last names would she have? Or would she keep coming back to Lopez? I mean, it makes no sense, I think. I think the reason Jennifer Lopez changed her name this time around, as she said several times, Ben Affleck is her person, the love of her life, the one and only. I don't think taking somebody's last name, your husband's last name, proves anything. It has no bearing in love, fidelity, nothing. It really proves nothing, except it's a power move. This is my bunch. The wife and these kids, they belong to me. Your children can take your last name. They belong to you. But your wife only belongs with you while you're together. So what I would say to Matt Walsh is that I usually like the arguments that you make. And I often have a lot in common with you. I think this is one of those traditions that need to go to bed. It's time to let go of this one. But you know what? The funny thing is, these Western feminists and all these women who make such a big deal of our hijab and constantly want us to remove our hijab and be naked, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them, are still taking their husband's last name. And we're supposed to be the ones that are backwards. Well, I think it's time to empower you, my dear sisters. Huh? It's time to give you some talk. We gotta talk, sisters. We gotta talk, because this is kind of pathetic. Abandoning your last names for a man? What happened? I guess we haven't come that far after all. Huh? Wow. You know, I guess feminism has not changed some of the big things that it was supposed to change. Huh? I can't believe you're still letting this happen. Abandoning your last name for a guy you just met and who knows how long it's going to last. I mean, divorces are pretty popular. Well, in the whole world nowadays, but especially in the West. Keep your last names. And dear Matt Walsh, it's time to put this one to bed. It has no place, Matt, in the 21st century for a woman to take her husband's last name. Check out Islam. I think it's time to get empowered. No, I mean, after all, you know, Islam was the first religion that gave women the right to ownership on properties, not change our last names, to be free. It allowed us to work if we want and keep our money. And that's not to say we have all these rights. We do, but, you know, it's still men that are at the helm of the religion. So they've been very stingy with our rights, God-given rights. But we have been giving these rights. This one, the last name one, that they will not touch that one. They will not. I've known a couple of sisters, Somali sisters, who've changed their last names to their husbands, and boy, everybody was talking about them behind their backs. It was kind of embarrassing. I know they probably will watch this, but you can love, honor, and cherish your husband. But you don't belong to them, you belong with them. However that lasts, and I hope it's forever. Keep your last names. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. God bless you and see you next time.